quickly.
Yeah.
All right.
But yes, it's official. Jim Harbaugh is leaving Michigan. He is going to the Chargers. This is a surprise to no one, but except like Michigan Mike, who thought he would never leave. But yeah, no one is a surprise.
Well, I mean,
I think it's a great hire by the Chargers. They've got Justin Herbert. They've got Rashawn Slater. They've got Joey Bosa. They've got things built. This is the smartest one he could have gone to of all the available ones. I think they're going to hit the ground winning.
He won a national title. Some coaches win multiple. It took a big, long, methodical process to get to the point where they could even beat Ohio State. They have won that battle recently. 3 years, national title. I mean, going to go back to Michigan and go like 9-3 and everyone's pissed off. This is a good move for him. The timing is perfect, and he was really good in the NFL with the 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't won a Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. So that's something that's out there for him to do as a coach and pair that and be one of those few guys like a Pete Carroll or a Jimmy Johnson that have won both titles. It's a very small select group. I would think that might be a goal of his. I think certainly winning the Super Bowl clearly is. That's why he's going back to the NFL in part. But, yeah, I mean, this makes sense. And I saw a lot of Michigan fans trying to rationalize why he'd come back, and I just saw no reason whatsoever for him to do that other than just like we were talking about earlier with coaches who choose to be in college. Like you like the game better. You love recruiting. You like the things that maybe would be annoyances to others, maybe would be stresses to others. You enjoy that. But he didn't really strike me as that type of a guy. I think he loves football, but I don't think he necessarily wants to put up with NCAA violations and having to bend the rules and, jumping through all those hoops. And the Ohio State thing, you end on a streak of wins against them and with the national title and the Big Ten title. I mean, how much better is it going to get? You come back next year, like you said, you lose to Ohio State, and then it's right back to, you lost to Ohio State. I mean, that every year has got to be as stressful as it gets at one of those, at a big-time school like that. So, I
if
think
you lose to the Chiefs 2 or 3 years in a row, no one's going to, lose your mind.
No, I mean, and you can lose games in the NFL and be okay. You can lose multiple games in the NFL, and it's not a big deal because that's what everybody does, whereas in college, you lose one, and it's a freak-out if it's against the wrong team. So, you had the best season you could have imagined. You got your alma mater in Natty. You've beaten your rival now a few years in a row, and I don't know what's left there for you to do. So, I think it's smart for him to move on, and L.A. is a great landing spot as well.
Not a surprise, but Michigan fans were probably like, because they finally have their guy, the one that took them to the level that had been a while. And good
you want
for
to
him.
see him build on that and go win another natty and then go win 5 in the next 10 years. And,
there are no more Bobby Bowden's, Tom Osborne's, and, even you could say Saban was 17, but that was half of what those other guys did as far as the commitment and the success.
I don't know. We'll see where Kirby Smart is in a few years and guys like that. Yeah. But, I think there's still going to be those types of figures that are around. But the old guard is certainly gone now with Saban out the door. And for Harbaugh, I didn't never consider him to be a guy who's going to be at Michigan for 30 years and win.
He took NFL interviews every year the last 4 years.
Exactly. I want to clarify something. I said half the success. They didn't have half the success that he had as far as Saban compared to Bowden, Osborne, and all those other guys.
No, but it is Jim Harbaugh and look, all the NCAA stuff that's going on. This is the best for everybody involved. Jim Harbaugh gets to go run and win a Super Bowl. Michigan's still the national title. The NCAA may still come for Michigan in some regard, but the fact that he's not there means it's probably going to, be more of a mosquito bite, than anything else, and it might have been anyway.
Unless they put Mike Boynton in Oklahoma State on another 2 or 3 years.
But like that.
How hard is Connor Stallions crying right now?
Yeah, he'll be on that staff.
He's probably crying tears of joy. They won a natty, so all of it was worth it in the end, and he can be the pariah or whatever.
We'll have a statue of him.
He can write a manifesto about the Chargers now. But Look, it works out for
everybody they play.
Yeah. But it works out for everybody. Sharon Moore's probably going to be the head coach, although it wouldn't surprise me to see Michigan kick the tires on maybe some bigger names. But
I don't think they can.
I think they've got to give it to Sharon. I think
first of all, he earned it.
Yeah, he's
earned it
because
of what he did. Now, again, Michigan was led by Harbaugh, but I think Sharon Moore, with what he did, earned it. It's kind of late. You could always find somebody else because then they'll start that domino effect again of the coaches.
Well, and if you elevate Sharon Moore, you keep a lot of guys out of the portal.
Well, here's the thing. They got 30 days now, Michigan players. So they're like, I mean, for what it was a quiet coaching carousel pre-Christmas, post-New Year's, it has been wild and crazy with Washington, Alabama, Michigan. Who am I missing? Washington, Alabama, Michigan. Is that basically it?
Arizona.
Yeah. So,
San
yeah,
Jose State, yeah. But
it's gotten wild here late. And so, yeah, now Michigan players are in the portal for the next month. I do think retaining Sharon Moore would probably cut a lot of that off at the pass. But also, what do you do if you're some of these schools that were scrambling? That's why you leave some spots open, right? Because all of a sudden these Michigan guys are available. So I would imagine that tomorrow we'll start to see Texas and Alabama and Ohio State are all the top targets for the Michigan so-and-so because that's kind of the way it's been the last month with these other stories. And I would imagine it'll be the same there because there will be a lot of talented players suddenly available. But, yeah, it's a bombshell. And yet not all that surprising that Harbaugh is officially leaving Michigan. So there you go.
And Texas plays Michigan next year in a non-conference game, and now they'll no longer have Harbaugh